You are surrounded by fools, and it is exhausting. And the worst part is this: your intelligence is not saving you. It is exposing you. Because every time a foolish person speaks with total confidence, you do the same ritual. You feel the pressure rise. You gather facts. You build a clean argument. You try to bring them to truth. And you lose anyway. Not because they are right, because you are playing the wrong game. Schopenhauer saw this clearly. Logic is defenseless against stupidity, not because logic is weak, but because stupidity does not fight by the rules of truth. It fights for dominance, for ego, for status, for the feeling of winning. If you keep trying to educate the willfully ignorant, you will keep bleeding energy. You will keep paying full price for conversations that have zero return. Today you are going to learn a ruthless architecture for neutralizing foolish people without ever giving them the gift of your truth. Not to feel superior, to protect your mind, to protect your time, to protect your power. And once you understand this, you will stop being drained by lesser minds forever. Chapter 1. Why you lose when you are right. You know the scene. A boardroom, a family table, a comment section. Someone says something absurd with a straight face. Not uncertain, not curious. Certain. Your brain instantly sees the flaw. You can feel it. You can map it. So you do what intelligent people do. You bring order to chaos. You explain. You clarify. You correct. And they stare at you and double down. This is the intelligence trap. You assume truth is the goal. It is not. Most arguments are not about reality. They are about rank. Schopenhauer's core observation was brutal. People rarely argue to discover truth. They argue to protect pride and establish dominance. The moment you introduce evidence, the foolish mind does not process it as information. It processes it as an attack. And the ego, when threatened, does not negotiate. It defends, it twists, it denies, it escalates. It would rather burn the entire conversation than admit 1 inch of error. So every time you bring logic to a fool, you trigger their strongest system, not their weakest. You trigger their survival instinct. You are trying to run a strategy meeting with someone whose only operating mode is emotional defense. You are speaking mathematics to a barking dog, and then you are shocked the dog does not solve the equation. Chapter 2. Stupidity is not passive, it is armored. Most intelligent people treat ignorance like an empty cup. You think, if I pour knowledge in, the cup fills. But willful ignorance is not an empty cup. It is a sealed container. It is protected by excuses, protected by certainty, protected by identity, protected by the need to never feel small. That is why facts bounce off. That is why evidence triggers anger. That is why the more correct you are, the more hostile they become. Because for many people, being wrong is not a simple adjustment. Being wrong is humiliation, and humiliation is intolerable. So they do what fools do best. They do not analyze your point. They attack your tone. They attack your intent. They attack your character. They shift the topic. They repeat the same line louder. They drag you into mud because mud is the only arena they can survive. And here is the part that should sting. When you keep engaging, you are feeding them. Your frustration gives them importance. Your effort gives them legitimacy. Your attention gives them status. You think you are correcting them. You are crowning them. Chapter 3. The first rule of power. Do not pay full price. Your time is expensive. Their time is worthless. That is the hidden economy of arguing with fools. You spend mental energy crafting precision. They spend zero energy refusing reality. You are burning fuel. They are sitting still. So you leave exhausted and they leave energized. That is the exchange. If you want to live strategically, you must stop paying full price for low-value interactions. Schopenhauer would call it simple arithmetic. Do not invest gold into a conversation that returns dirt. This is where most intelligent people fail, not because they cannot see the stupidity, because they cannot resist the urge to correct it. You are addicted to being right. You crave the moment they finally concede. You want the satisfaction of recognition. Schopenhauer would tell you this is the deepest weakness of the intelligent man, seeking validation from a lesser mind. Why do you need a blind man to praise your painting? Why do you need a fool to confirm reality? The moment you drop that need, you become immune. Chapter 4. The ruthless strategy. Weaponize their momentum. So what do you do when logic fails? You do not fight them. You weaponize them. Schopenhauer's savage method is simple. Do not disagree. Agree. But agree so completely that you accelerate their argument into absurdity. You do not strike the head. You let them run into the wall they built. A foolish person thinks in the short term, surface level. They do not trace consequences. They do not follow their own logic to its end. They live in the first sentence, never in the last. So you become the one who takes their premise and finishes it. Example, a colleague says, all modern art is a scam. Anyone can do it. Your instinct is to argue, technique, history, meaning, stop, lean in, nod. Tell them they are absolutely right. Then push it forward. If it is that easy, we should quit today. You paint, I will call a gallery. We will be rich by Friday. Why are we wasting time here? Watch what happens. You did not attack them, you validated them. But you forced their brain to look at the destination, and now they must backpedal. They must add nuance. They must argue against themselves. You did not win with logic, you won with structure. This is how you disarm foolish confidence without spending your energy. You let their certainty collapse under its own weight. You do not correct them, you expose them. Chapter 5. Deny them friction, deny them power. A fool wants friction. Friction makes them feel strong. Every time you oppose them, you create a wrestling match. They are starving for that. They do not want truth, they want resistance. So the second rule is this: do not give them friction. Short answers, calm tone, no heat, no emotional reaction, no long explanations. You become smooth stone. Nothing sticks. You say things like, interesting, I see. That is one way to look at it, if you say so. Not because you agree, because you refuse to play. They will try harder at first. They will escalate, because you removed the reward. They used to press a button and get emotion. Now the button does nothing. And when a manipulative or foolish person cannot pull a reaction out of you, they lose interest. They go find an easier target. This is the Machiavelli strategy code version of Schopenhauer. You are physically present, but mentally unreachable. An avatar sits at the table. Your real mind stays protected behind the wall. Chapter 6. The Quarantine. Never bring your real self to a foolish fight. Here is the dangerous part. Stupidity is contagious. Not because you become stupid, because you become tired. Your mind has limited bandwidth. When you spend it translating reality for someone who cannot process it, your own clarity begins to degrade. You become irritable. You become reactive. You begin making worse decisions in other areas of your life. That is how fools damage you. Not by defeating you, by draining you. so you need a psychological quarantine. You do not avoid them entirely. That is not always possible. But you control the exposure. You control how much of you they get. You control how long you stay. You control how deep you go. With foolish people, your maximum depth is shallow. Do not discuss big visions. Do not reveal plans. Do not share vulnerabilities. Do not debate principles. Do not waste high-level thought on low-level minds. Give them polite surface. Protect your core. Chapter 7. When the fool has power over you. Now the hardest scenario. What if the fool is your manager, your client, the gatekeeper to your next move? This is where most intelligent people get destroyed. They walk into the castle and display brilliance. They think competence will be rewarded. But a powerful fool does not reward competence. A powerful fool punishes it. Because your intelligence is a mirror, and the fool with a crown cannot tolerate the reflection. Schopenhauer's warning is ruthless. To display outstanding intelligence in the presence of mediocrity is an unpardonable sin. They will not attack your ideas directly. They will attack your character. They will call you difficult, not a team player, too intense, hard to work with. So what do? You hide the blade. Your intelligence is not a badge you wear. It is a concealed weapon. And when you deal with a powerful fool, you feed their hunger. Not with truth, with superiority. Ask their opinion on trivial decisions. Let them correct you on minor details. Thank them. Let them feel large. You are not submitting. You are anesthetizing. You are giving them a cheap toy so they stop searching for real threats. This is a quiet power move. You trade a small scratch to your pride for full maneuverability. While they enjoy the illusion of control, you build quietly. You move pieces. You position. You win outcomes. Power is not winning the argument. Power is winning the objective while they think they won the argument. Chapter 8. Kill the savior instinct. Now we face the real reason you keep arguing. It is not logic. It is empathy. You feel sorry for them. You think, if they understood, their life would improve. This is the arrogance of empathy, the belief that you can upgrade someone who does not want to be upgraded. Many fools are comfortable inside their certainty. It protects them from complexity. It protects them from responsibility. It protects them from feeling small. When you try to drag them into reality, they fight like an animal defending a warm shelter. Stop trying to save them. It is not your job. Your duty is not to educate everyone. Your duty is to protect your mind and build your life. Chapter 9. The final shift from intelligence to power. Here is the transformation. Intelligence is knowing you are right. Power is not caring if they know it. Intelligence is winning debates. Power is controlling outcomes. The truly dangerous mind does not argue for applause. It does not perform truth. It uses reality like a tool. It understands the world is driven by ego, emotion, and perception. So it stops trying to fix the world. It stops trying to convince fools. It starts building quietly while fools talk loudly. When you stop arguing, something strange happens. Your energy returns. Your focus sharpens. Your days feel lighter. Your mind becomes cleaner. You stop being pulled into nonsense. You stop bleeding attention. You become harder to manipulate because you are no longer available for chaos. And this is the real liberation. You will never be drained by a fool again because you will never again give them the authority to judge your reality. You clicked on this because you were exhausted. You thought you needed better arguments, sharper facts, a more persuasive tone. Now you know the truth. The solution is not better logic. The solution is better boundaries. Do not give fools friction. Do not pay full price. Weaponize their momentum. Quarantine your mind. Hide the blade when the fool has power. And above all, kill the need to be understood by people who cannot understand. That is not arrogance. That is strategy. And if this message hit you, comment this: I protect my mind. Subscribe to Machiavelli Strategy Code, because the world is full of noise, and power belongs to the man who stays quiet, sees clearly, and moves with precision.